What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Game in a Week show. I'm Matt, this is Dan, and that is Ash.
Gents.
2016 is here. Yay. Did you miss doing this for the last 2 weeks, Dan? Or 3 weeks for you, Ash?
Yeah, it felt a little bit weird. It
feels like it's been a ridiculously long time.
It does.
I know it's a couple of weeks, and having that tiny break of not having to get up in the mornings or whatever.
Well, I wanted to do it last week, but you guys were both diseased, so
yeah.
I was raring to go after a week off.
Infected.
I mean, we could have come in and given you the germs.
No, it's alright.
But
I'll survive.
Feeling fresh, new year.
It means we've got plenty action-packed? Not really action-packed. We're just going to be sitting here, we're not going to be moving. There's not much action. But yeah, plenty of news to get through. But if you're new to the show, then that is your first smart choice of 2016. Well, you might make more, but the best choice of 2016. It's a weekly show that the three of us do where we get together and talk about all the latest news topics in the video game industry for that past week. We also then go through all the video game releases and then each pick our favourite game of the week. So if you like video game conversations, reviews, let's plays, we can check out our website, thegameinitiative.com. The link to that, as well as our social media stuff, is all down below. So, there was some news that inevitably broke, I think, the day after we recorded.
I think so, yeah.
Maybe 2 days.
What was it I said to you? Well, that's topic number one sorted when we're back.
So we do a weekly show. We like our stuff to be topical. So I've only kept in 2 items that happened over the period because they are important. One of them is still relevant. Well, they're both still relevant. But first up, Uncharted 4 has been delayed. It's okay. Neil Druckmann, smart decision, announced it like on Christmas Eve when everyone's too busy doing other stuff to care about video games.
Yeah.
He went on the PlayStation blog and basically said that the needs to be delayed in order to give the game the extra polish that it needs in order to make sure that they meet their high standards and give Drake his proper send-off.
Yeah.
I think that's the key there, where they're saying send-off.
Well,
but my point is, if this was 4 in a series of 6 or whatever, would they worry as much about?
Yeah, they would, because it's Uncharted. It's Naughty Dog.
No,
they have high standards.
No, but it depends on whether they've already at a standard they're happy with. But they're like, no, this is the end. It's got to be this.
It's 5 weeks, though. 5 weeks delay. It's just polish, isn't it? It's what they've done is the game's probably playable, but there's probably a few things little here and there, like maybe little, texture pop-ins and stuff like that.
That's my point. As in, like, because it's in theory the last one.
It's their.
They don't want anything to be out of place. Whereas, like, if it was part of
because what you're saying there is that basically a developer's then like saying we don't care if it's not the best it can be.
No, because we're so used to now seeing developers fix these things after the game is out.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think other studios. I see what you're saying. I think other studios maybe, but I think Naughty Dog always they hold themselves to a higher level than. I'm sure everyone always tries the best they can.
Yeah,
I'm not, but yeah, I don't think. I think whether this was the first one or the last one, if it needed this delay, they would have done it. They're not Ubisoft. They don't release broken games. Although to be fair, we know it's the publisher that puts the pressure on it, not. And Sony is a very understanding publisher. Whereas, if this was an Activision game or a Ubisoft game, then maybe they would say no, it has to release in this before the end of April to meet our financial year end or something.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't affect me too much. I think we get so used to it now. We get so used to games being delayed. It is a disappointment, and we do have to wait a couple of weeks, but. It's still coming. It's not been cancelled. It's not like a 6-month delay. It's a couple of weeks, and we'll.
That would be a shocker. If they turned around and said, "Nah, it's not good enough. We're cancelling it."
We'll start again and say we've thrown it in the bin
for the second time. We've already started again.
Like the third one. Yeah, that's the final one. Yeah. You have to deal with that.
April 29th is now the new date. The only thing I take away from this that I don't really like is that it's no longer an international release. Initially, it was going to be an international release. It was all going to release on the Friday. Yeah. But now they're releasing the American version on the Tuesday, the European one on the Thursday, and our one on the Friday. So what the fuck are you doing that for? Now I've got to stay away from the internet for that whole week because everyone's in America is going to get the game and then play it.
Through it and
they'll be finished by, the game's only going to be like a 12-hour experience probably.
Yeah, you can get through in about 12 hours.
So, yeah. Why do you do that?
I don't. Yeah, I don't really get the logic of changing that. Does seem weird.
But there we go. Uncharted now moves into April, alongside the likes of Quantum Break for Xbox, where that is early April. So that's good. They don't clash.
Another game I'm excited for.
There is potentially a game that's going to clash that we'll get to later in the show, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. That's another big release. We'll move on to the other topic that kind of technically occurred before the end of the year, and that is the free games for PlayStation and Xbox. We have them every month, so they're still relevant now, so we can include those.
Yeah, because they are the ones on the store right now, but they were announced.
Yeah, people might have already known this now, but we're going to tell you anyway, so sit there and enjoy it, please. Thank
In
you.
case you've forgotten, with all the New Year
Exactly.
excitement, that you need to go in and get your games.
Grim Fandango Remastered and Hardware Rivals on the PS4. Good games, much better than the December ones.
Yeah,
I can't remember what the December ones were, that's how bad they were.
that's how bad they were. Yeah.
King's Quest, actually, and then something else. Oh, was that The Walking Dead Season 2?
No,
No.
that was the month before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why are you giving us Season 2 when we don't have Season 1? What use is that?
Season 1 was on Xbox.
Yeah, it was great for smart people. With some people,
both
a
consoles.
detriment.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
6 minutes.
It's not a record.
This is where he's going to be like, oh yeah, by the way, I got one for Christmas.
Yeah.
I've played every Xbox game. That's why you haven't seen me for 2 weeks. So on the PS3, if anyone is still playing the PS3, you can have Dragon Age Origins and Medal of Honor Warfighter. I haven't played a Medal of Honor game. Do you remember when Medal of Honor was like the pinnacle
It was.
of console shooters? Like that was
It was
the game.
pre Call of Duty. Well, to be honest, it was pre most shooters we've got now. It was,
Yes, basically.
That
It
was
the
daddy.
World War II shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then the first Call of Duty came out on the PC, and
it was like
Medal of Honor died. Pretty much.
Well, they obviously like, oh, what do you reckon they'll bring that franchise back? It's an EA one. They've obviously now they're into Battlefield quite heavily now. But do you think Medal of Honor would ever make a return?
I don't think so. Not to anywhere near the extent it was. I think there's much more in terms of choice and games out there now. We've got far more games coming out now on a weekly basis than we did when Medal of Honor was.
The only way it would make sense to me would be that if Call of Duty is still continuing on with this modern warfare, like futuristic stuff, if they're staying in that realm,
Yeah.
whereas if Medal of Honor was to return
to sort of the World
to
War
its
One
roots,
to
it's World War II shooter era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of that kicking about at the moment.
Yeah, there was a time where that was too much, where now we're missing it.
Yeah.
So it's like if they brought it back for that, then
Yeah.
maybe. Otherwise, I think it's not worth it.
But my question is, if they want to do a World War II shooter, EA this is,
Yeah.
would they bring back Medal of Honor franchise, or would they just make the next Battlefield a World War II? Because the original Battlefield is Battlefield 1942.
Yeah.
That's Battlefield's origins, and a lot of people forget that.
They could almost go through all the big sort of wars that have occurred over the.
And does
Yeah,
Medal
decades.
this might not even be a World War II shooter, I'm not even sure.
What Warfighter? No, it's basically the modern warfare
Gesundheit.
version of
Thank you.
Medal
Yeah.
of Honor. Basically, it's that.
Anyway,
Medal of Honor's
it's
there.
on the PS3.
PS3.
I hope now everyone has burnt their old consoles and moved on to newer, shinier times.
I keep
When was the last
saying.
time you played the PS3?
Actually, you'd be surprised. It was probably about 3 months ago.
How long did you play it for?
Not that long. A couple of hours.
He turned it up, made sure it wasn't completely clogged.
I wanted to make sure it still worked. There was still power going to it. No, there are just so many PS3 games that I'd love to just go back and just play a couple of hours on. It just doesn't happen.
No, because you got the PS4 now, which is.
And I've already got too many games that I have hours
It is
and days playing.
33% better. That's why I did the maths. On the Vita, we've got Nilumbra and History Legends of War. So a couple of those for the handheld. History Legends of War is definitely the correct one. You might or may not have seen that there was an original title. I don't have it written down here, but that was the wrong title for Vita. So if you got them very early on, Sony said that you could keep that. So there's a possibility that you get three Vita titles this month. Because
Sony made a boo-boo.
Yeah. But that's fine, we'll forgive them. Over on Xbox...
You'll notice how that Sony doesn't make the boo-boo on the PS4 game.
No. The one they put up was an old PSP game as well, so it wasn't even releasing it.
Oh, well.
Everyone, here's Battlefront.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Yeah, I bet you they wouldn't let you keep that. on the Xbox One, we've got Killer Instinct Season 1, the Ultimate Edition. I'm not quite sure what that means. I'm guessing that means with all the DLC.
Yeah,
That's not
that's usually what those are.
Yeah.
So, from what I understand, a very good fighting game, but everyone knows our opinion on fighting games.
Mash square, mash X, mash square.
What, that none of us are any good?
Yeah, we respect them, we just don't play them because... And also, that's for the entire month of January, and then from January 16th through to February 15th, you'll be able to get Zeros, which is kind of a 3D beat-em-up brawler set in space, cartoony. You'll see it playing right now. So, more free games there. And then finally, on the 360, for the first half of the month, so up until the 15th, so you haven't got long to get that one, Dirt Showdown, another racing game. I'm pretty sure we just had a Dirt game. I think it was Dirt 3. It was literally like a month or maybe 2 months ago.
Was that on the 3D? It must have been on.
It was 360, yeah. And then Deus Ex Mankind Divided for the second half of the month. I'm going to say this was originally locked in when Deus Ex Human Revolution is the new one that's out. Mankind Divided is the new one. I've got that wrong. Deus Ex Human Revolution on 360. Mankind Divided was initially due out in February, so I reckon that's when that was locked in.
Yes.
And then they delayed Mankind Divided through to August. So you've got a little bit longer to play it now. But then, very good game, Deus Ex. And obviously, Xbox One playable, backwards compatibility, so no excuse for even the people who didn't have a 360.
Yes.
So, lucky for Ash. Unlucky for Dan. Any of those stand out of all those games? Which one are you most excited to play, Ash?
I love Grim Fandango. I think it's good fun game. But I would like to dip in the sort of Deus Ex water. Yeah.
The water. No, I'm excited to play that. I went and bought it literally 2 months ago to play it specifically for this.
And have you played it?
Nope.
Is it opened?
Nope, it's right there. In the seat. Still there. It's been sitting there since the day I bought it.
In that big pile of
four. There's 4 games.
Unwrapped games.
There's 4 games. I wouldn't say it's a big pile. But those 4 games cost me around a total of £18. So
wow.
Anyway. Actually, no. Sorry. Before we move on. Dan, any of those games you're excited to play on the PlayStation side?
I'll have a look at Hardware Rivals.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's like, I don't know if it's going to end up being something like Rocket League in the sense of a small game where it suddenly takes everyone by storm. But I'll have a look.
Yeah,
see what it actually offers.
It's an arena shooter, but with cars.
Yeah.
So, it looks fun. I'm going to say that I said this would be PlayStation Plus, so...
You did. I remember you saying that.
Yeah, nailed it. There's written evidence on our website if you don't believe me.
There's also video evidence of it.
I'm sure there probably is.
Sure you said it in an episode.
I'm pretty sure. I say so many things that make sense. It's hard to keep track of them all.
You also think you said things as well.
Is that what I had to do to get rid of you? I'd have done that 77 episodes ago. Next up on the list, we're now into this week's news, and even though this is the first full week of the year, really, back into the swing of it, there's been quite a few big stories that have broken. We'll go with the biggest in terms of cost, Oculus Rift. We know it's coming very soon, and the price has been announced. It is going to cost $599, which at the current exchange rate transfers into £410. But what we'll actually pay is £499 because
they like to round up.
That's how they do. That's how they do economies in the business world.
It's a little bit annoying, yes.
But I mean, that's $499 will be the UK price, so we might be able to get VAT off if we wanted it. So anyway. With that, you basically get the Oculus Rift base package, which comes with obviously the headset, all the sensors, the remote. You get an Xbox One controller with it. That's part of the partnership.
Just the bog standard, not the Elite.
No, just the standard one. Yeah. Just that would be a pretty good value.
Well, that's why.
That's basically a partnership with Microsoft, obviously, because Oculus Rift is a PC headset and Xbox One controller does work with Windows. And then you get 2 games with it as well, Eve Valkyrie and A Lucky's Tale. So it's not just the headset that's costing that money. You are getting, the controllers a 40-50 quid thing, and then the 2 games. So you're getting almost like 100 quid's worth of stuff.
There's quite a bit of stuff in there.
On the side. Now, the internet got very, very angry about this, unsurprisingly, because they don't like getting told that stuff's expensive. And the founder of Oculus, Palmer Luckey, great name.
Mm-hmm.
He defended the price by basically saying,
Did he choose to have Lucky's tail? Is actually
Well, he can do
it's
whatever he
not
wants.
actually a game. It's
Yeah.
just him like reading a story.
but like you can turn the pages or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's basically said they're not making any money on the hardware. So this is basically they're either breaking even or they might, as they sometimes do with new hardware, is sometimes lose money. That's not an unusual thing. But the biggest problem with this is the PC spec. We've got it all on our website if you want to see the exact spec, but I did a spec up on PC Specialists and it basically will cost about £720 for this PC.
Right.
And I think the hardest thing about it is actually that it requires 4 USB ports, 3 of which are USB 3.0. And it's very hard to get a PC with 3 USB 3.0 ports. Most of them come with 2.
I was going to say I've got a gaming laptop and it's got 2.
Yeah, most come with 2. Or in my case, it's 0. But yeah,
that's tough.
What do we make of this price? Do we think it's too much? Do we think it's about right? What were your thoughts when you heard this? Like, being the more level-headed people that we are.
I think I'd rather wait for PlayStation VR.
Well, yeah, obviously, this
said-
isn't targeted to you because you're not a
I know.
PC gamer.
No. We always said like the virtual reality stuff was always essentially going to come out at the higher end cost of a console.
Yeah.
Which, okay, yes, this is a bit more, but you're talking PC, and PC tends to work to higher spec.
Yeah.
So I think that's
does.
why you're looking at that higher
It
cost.
does.
So really, at the end of the day, it's probably coming out about what it should.
I think the reason everyone was annoyed is because there was indications somewhere from Oculus that led people to believe that it might be nearer to like a $350, so like £300 price point. So it's come out a couple of hundred higher than people were expecting.
I think part of the problem is, yes, it is expensive for what it is. I think it's a lot of money and probably more than what most people were hoping to pay. But there's also this additional sort of burden, if you like, or headache that you might have a great gaming PC that you've spent a lot of money on and it still isn't going to tick all the boxes.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to spend more money on that then. But I think suddenly, £500 for Oculus Rift then turns into 6 or 7 with all the mods you then got to make to your existing.
The thing is, though, with PC gamers is they are constantly upgrading their hardware.
No,
anyway.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
it is that little bit different. I get what you're saying as well. It's like people will look at it and go, "Well, I've got specs." It's
Most
all
people
good right
probably
now,
do.
But a year's time,
Yeah.
what
I
they
think
have is almost obsolete in the PC world. So it's like
from memory, I think it's like the 4th gen i5, whereas we're now in the 6th gen, and obviously there's i5s and i7s.
yeah, i7s are out now. So.
And I think it's 8 gig of RAM, I think, which most people have nowadays.
it's not. Yeah,
Most people have 8 or 16 if they've got a gaming PC.
Yeah.
And I think the card was like the Nvidia 970, which is it's quite a high graphics card. That's the biggest thing that
well,
people
that's
might not have.
obviously what you need, isn't it?
But so we also had a report anyway, while we're talking on VR about PlayStation maybe coming in at the same price, $400 to $600.
Yeah.
And there's 2 things basically that I take from both of these things. Firstly, Oculus Rift Oculus is owned by Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, if they wanted to, could have released these headsets at a lot lower price point. If they wanted to, they could eat the profit, they could eat the loss,
yeah,
because they have a fair chunk of change.
they do.
And I think by it being this £500 price, you won't shift as many units as maybe they would have liked. I'm sure they've done a lot of research, but it's common sense. You're going to shift less units at 500 than you would at 400. It's just whether or not the drop in sales is going to mean that overall you make less money or not.
Yeah.
I think in time, as more games come out for these things, you're going to see the prices fall because they'll look at it and they'll think, oh, well, we can actually make this up on the software side a lot easier because there's a lot more out there.
And the hardware will get cheaper as well.
Because it's limited-ish content at the moment.
You've got to remember though, Facebook.
More than 100 games this year apparently for both VR and
Yeah,
Oculus
but
Rift.
they're not all out yet, is my point.
But if Facebook are only making money on the hardware, then you've got to wonder.
Well, they'd make money on everything because it'd be the same as like PlayStation to sell a game on hardware, you give us a
percentage of
percentage
any
of the sales.
yeah.
You know, say we make 30% or something on every.
So I
game
think it's
sold.
just looking at that, but you've got to remember all these companies have got to have their shareholders' interests in mind anyway. So they're not going to.
Yeah, companies aren't here to give out free.
Exactly, they're not going to be in it to lose
That's not how
money.
business works.
So it might be costly, but as they said, they're not really making money as such or profit as such on the hardware, and I can imagine that's probably the case.
Yeah,
it probably is pretty costly to put this stuff together.
Yeah. So what do you think then? Closing up, PlayStation VR. If say it comes in at a similar price, maybe £100 less, does it become a tough sell if it's effectively more expensive than the PS4? Because I can't see in a world how, I know it's like a whole different platform.
Yeah.
We got to consider it as a different platform.
Yeah.
But whilst the fact that it plugs into a PS4
it needs the PS4.
it can't be any more expensive than, because this is effectively a very expensive accessory to the console. Now I know it's a whole new platform, but the bottom line is it plugs into that PS4 as well as its own processing unit, which we've talked about. I just can't see it can't be more expensive than the PlayStation 4 was when it released, which was I think about £320 or something. If it comes in at £400, I don't know. I'd probably still buy it because I'm an idiot and I buy everything. But
I'm the same sort of situation, I suppose, for me.
Maybe we'll just have to get a company one.
I
don't know. What do you think people will buy this regardless?
It'll just become a luxury item, won't it? It'll become something that very few people or people in a certain position only will be buying. I don't think it'll be something that will appeal to the everyday gamer by any means. I think it'll appeal to the top 10 to 15% of gamers.
Do you think it will end up going the way of like Kinect, in the sense of people flock to it originally and then go, I
don't think so. I think there's a lot more. There's a lot more to this, and I think it is definitely the future. It's the first step.
No. What I mean is like people will jump at it early because they'll be like, oh, this will be cool, and then they'll go,
No, I think from everyone that I've read, I mean, it's impossible to experience. Like Kinect, you can see how Kinect works.
Yeah.
But we can't look at VR until we've experienced it. But from everyone, the people in the industry that I trust who have had hands-on with it, they all said that it is what it is. And these are people that have lived through the disappointment of like PlayStation Move and Kinect and stuff.
Apparently there is like a really small percentage of people who will just get motion sickness from VR without, and there's nothing they can do about it.
I know.
Well, it's the same with everything, isn't it?
I know people that can't play standard video games because of motion sickness.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I mean. As in, like,
VR would be just...
I feel really
Off the
sorry
scale.
for anyone who buys one of these things and then finds out they're one of those people.
I would imagine they'd be able to get a refund.
I would hope so.
It's the same with all things though. It's like, some people are colourblind. It's just an unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. But
some people are special in other ways.
yeah.
And that's unfortunate as well.
Unfortunate for you.
But yeah,
no,
we'll see.
I think I see this more of a way of 4K televisions. They were incredibly expensive. Only the real key bought them first up. How much did you pay for your 65-inch 4K TV? $3 grand?
$4.5 grand.
$4.5 grand. You can now pick them up for $1 grand. So
it was a 65-inch.
Yeah. Well, I bought my 60-inch TV last year for about $1,300, and that was only $1080.
Yeah.
Now, if I'd waited till this year, I could have got basically the same TV in 4K for like the same price.
Yeah.
It's just technology prices drop so quickly.
It does.
And this will be the same. So
it will be, and I think as the price on this drops, then obviously a newer and better and more whizzier version is going to be developed and coming out. So you're going to be buying that. So I don't think we need to worry about spending £400 or £500. It's when we're buying the third edition, me and Matt and whoever else.
I'll buy the first edition.
And you're buying the third edition or release of it. Then you're.
Yeah.
I'm just going to wait for the hollow table. It's fine.
Yes.
Anyway, let's move on. We've probably talked that one to death now.
We have. Yeah.
Number 4, the other big news story that was this week. Assassin's Creed. Now, I started my article by saying there are 3 things in life that are certain. Death, taxes, and an annual Assassin's Creed. Which I think is pretty true. That Assassin's Creed comes out annually every year since
You could have thrown a few other games in there as well, but I know for the purpose of the article.
Yeah. But like, since 2009, since Assassin's Creed 2 came out, we've had one every single year.
Yes.
Now, following the the critical success of possibly the best one in the series in a long time, they're now going to take a break by the sound of it. According to reports, the next one's going to be set in Egypt. It's codenamed Empire at the moment, and this is a dev he posted on the 4chan, like Reddit kind of forums.
Well, someone claimed
to be a dev, yes. But he's basically said that the reason it's going to be 2017 is it's going to be a complete revamp. It's going to have a Witcher feel to it, which sounds good. It's going to have boats and everything, freedom and stuff. And so take a year off, probably off the back of Unity's public criticism. I would imagine that Syndicate, there's no way that Syndicate has sold as well this year.
No,
like you don't hear the buzz about it. Like even though it's way better than Unity, people were talking about Unity a lot more than they've been talking about Syndicate.
Yeah.
So as an Assassin's Creed enthusiast, how do you feel about not having an Assassin's Creed this year?
I'm alright with it. As in, like,
sure.
Yeah, because
it's fine.
Yeah,
you got other games you can play.
It's fine because, like, I always said that I felt as they were moving closer and closer to modern time that they were going to struggle.
Yeah.
So resetting back to wherever they're going.
Egyptian times is quite a long way back, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, again, that's not necessarily true.
Oh no, this is all conjecture at the moment.
I know some people have gone through and they've kind of feel it's a bit more of a legitimate claim because of how that person was going about it.
Yeah.
Because like one of the big things was people were asking them questions and they were saying, I don't know about that. That's not in my sector of what I deal with.
Yeah.
And they say that gives it a little bit more credit because most of the time when people claim to be
Because
developers on things, they try and answer everything.
Yeah.
And because games are always made in, like little compartments of stuff.
They are.
People don't know everything, so that's why they give it a little bit more credit. But yeah, I think it's fine. I think occasionally these sort of like games that release every year need a year off.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of annualized titles necessarily. I mean,
you can fatigue your fan base.
Yeah,
if you because let's face it, like Assassin's Creed, as good as some of the games have been, and as bad as others, they all boil down to essentially the same thing year on year in a slightly different place.
Yeah, and whilst it's annualized, you can never fully fix the problems that you're having. You've been saying for years, like being able, climb up stuff is great, but getting down has always been incredibly clunky.
Yeah,
they tried to address it last year with Unity, and from playing Syndicate, it feels better than what I remember say Black Flag was.
Yeah,
but it's still very, very clunky. If I want to get there,
still not great.
If I want to get there, he won't. It feels like a chimney in a way. He won't go where I want him to. He'll jump on the chimney. I was like, get the fuck off the chimney.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because it's like it's not. It doesn't see the world as like just you can drop anywhere. It's like it's got definitive like points.
Yeah.
It's like on the compass almost of like there's something there, jump, kind of thing.
So the rumours are that this was from Kotaku, I think, who had this report, was that basically to fulfil the gap that Assassin's Creed would leave, this would be where Watch Dogs would kind of jump in, which makes we knew Watch Dogs 2 I think was announced almost straight after the success of the first one.
It was good success.
It's a third person open world game, so it follows.
Still ticks their boxes.
It ticks those boxes. Okay. Yes, you're not running up and down buildings, but it's a different type of game, and I think that would fit in perfectly because I like the first game. It had its problems, but I think if
Ubisoft game doesn't.
If they can make the same jump from Watch Dogs to Watch Dogs 2 that Assassin's Creed did to Assassin's Creed 2, then
exactly. I think it's a good move. I think it would be
the
nice to.
The game would be better for it.
Yeah. I think it will. I think you get so stale and sick of seeing the same games, year upon year upon year, and it's getting a bit like that with Call of Duty to some extent, and they need to sort of change it up a bit. But Assassin's Creed, I think for me as well. I mean, I don't play them all relentlessly like you do, but even for the ones I've played, I just find that sometimes things can feel a bit too samey.
Yeah, I think they've made it better in the last 2 years in terms of how the game flows.
Yeah.
For all its problems for Unity, it was the start of them making things better.
Yeah.
And like the fact that you don't just automatically fail everything now because you get seen.
Certain missions you do.
There's certain.
Sometimes. But there are certain missions
that's because
required. That's
requirement.
story.
It's a different thing, where as opposed to every other mission, it'd be like, seen by God, you fail.
Yeah. I'm enjoying Syndicate. I got it for Christmas, and it is fun.
Yeah, it's like I said to you, like when you first talked to me about this, I said, really the only way I would have liked them to continue would have been with the characters out of Syndicate in some shape or form as the next game, like if they were to do another annual one, because I feel those two characters have had a great starting point.
Yeah,
but I also feel, I don't want to spoil things for you, but I also feel the way they wrapped things up would make that hard.
Okay,
but
is it because they're both dead? Anyway,
you have to find out.
I already think that one of them's going to die, but anyway, I'll find out hopefully soon. I'm about to start Sequence 8. I've got one more mission of Sequence 7 left to do.
No spoilers, please.
So
yeah,
no. You gonna play it?
No.
they
might.
Yeah, I kind of forgot the camera was there. Right, the final item is kind of a wrap up. We've got mainly a couple of rumours and a couple of confirmed release dates or delays for games. So we'll go through them and then you can let me know what you think of them all. Let's start with delays because I want to end the news happy.
Yeah.
So first up, Recore, the Xbox One Xbox One console exclusive that we know is basically just being an adventure game at the moment. We don't know much about it. We saw it at E3.
Mm-hmm.
That's being delayed to the latter half of 2016. So, apparently it was a spring 2016 game, which surprised me because we haven't seen any games. There's been no gameplay. Like, this is the least surprising delay ever. It's like, oh, that was supposed to be out like in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Basically, latter half just means any point at the moment, or are we thinking more towards the end of?
Well, I would say latter half as September onwards when you get into like the fall area.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I always kind of expected it. Well,
it's a holiday release.
Yeah. Well, if we were to break it down, I feel it's going to be difficult because normally September is a Forza game, then October would be a Halo game. They've got Halo Wars 2. Then they've got Gears for November.
Yeah.
So you're running out of months. But maybe Halo Wars will be December, maybe this will be October. I don't know.
Maybe they'll just throw it in for the sake of
they can release more than one a month. Yeah, they are allowed. But one of those games, there'll be more delays before years out. Without a doubt. I mean, we're 1 week in, we're already getting this, and Scalebound, the other Xbox One game that we saw originally at E3. This one is from Platinum, and it's been delayed to 2017, which is probably not that surprising because Platinum has a ridiculous number of games that they are working on at the moment. So again, delays. We don't care about delays really anymore, do we?
I think it becomes, we get so used to it, and I think we appreciate that they're not delaying it just because they want to delay it or because they're badly organised. Again, they might be badly organised, but it is more for the benefit, I think, of the consumer and the gamer. And I think we have to just appreciate that. And I think we do acknowledge that it's not really the end of the world.
Do you feel at this point it's actually more surprising when a game comes out on time?
I would say it is. I would say it is.
For a game that never gets any delays.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree with you. Yeah. If we take away the annualised franchises that we know, and they release those whether they're broken or not, because they have to.
They'll just release the game later in a patch. They'll just send you the disc.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. It's like game later.
So if you take away the sports games and your Call of Duties,
and
I would have said Assassin's Creed, but that's obviously now gone. Yeah, I would say more games get delayed. But oh well, it doesn't. We're now in a position where we have so many games that it's not like before. You might have only been getting like 1 or 2, maybe 3 big releases a year. So when one got delayed out of that year, it's like that's a big chunk of your planned gaming. But now it's like,
well,
it's fine. I've got plenty of other stuff that I can do in the meantime. It's okay.
They could cancel every game. They could delay every 2016 game, and I still have more than enough to play this year.
Yes,
so
true.
Now we've got a couple of games that could be coming out sooner than we thought. We mentioned at the top of the show. If you're still here, then thank you very much. Mafia 3 is the game that could be releasing in April, the same day as Uncharted 4. According to Best Buy, or an image taken by an individual, took a picture of these pre-order cards that you get in shops where it's like pre-order now. It was a Mafia 3 one with Best Buy on it. Had date April 26th, which is a Tuesday in America, which would match up. Do you think? I was surprised to hear that this game could be coming out this soon.
I don't think so.
Same day as Uncharted as well.
Do you think they'll change that now that Uncharted's moved?
Yeah,
I don't because
it's a different game.
But all the promotional stuff was probably printed a while back, or like sorted out and sent off to be printed and distributed.
If it's coming now,
kind of thing.
If it's been out now, that decision was definitely made before Christmas. They didn't make that decision and send stuff out between.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's like that went off and that's all been distributed, and then it's like the shops are told, right, put stuff on the shelf, like
don't put
like make sure it's ready so people know it's coming out, and then like Uncharted goes, yeah, we're coming out on this date, so I reckon that one will move. If that is the right date, because Mafia will move.
So when Mafia comes out and says they're coming out on May 3rd or whatever, that's not technically a delay because they never announced this date, but it's not really surprising.
But no, if that's supposed to be the date, that would
I'd be happy if it's coming out this early. I thought that would be like the end of the year sort of thing, or maybe summer, not April. But Homefront Revolution, another pre-order card image being leaked. This time by Target. Obviously, the shop's really keen to get people's money in January. It's like, just put everything out.
If they put it all in the tax year this year.
let's get the pre-orders in.
Yeah. That's May 17th. So this one is a bit more plausible because we do have a spring 2016 window. So May is in the spring. Technically,
yes.
So
Yeah.
it's definitely, isn't it?
It's in the months that count as spring.
Yeah. So that one could be going. Stay tuned for that. We're excited for that game.
I've got it on pre-order, I think, at the moment.
I think I was going to say, I think I've got it down as one of my got to pick up this year.
Do you just pre-order everything, Dash?
Yeah.
And then you cancel them as you decide. And then but then you don't cancel them, and then they turn up on your doorstep.
I don't really.
But I didn't
cancel
want the My Little Pony game.
Yeah,
Does that happen?
I do
Has that
have.
happened yet?
No, but I do get games that just sort of turn up, and I think, oh yeah, I forgot I ordered that, or I forgot to cancel that, or whatever, and I've gone and bought a copy in the shop, and I know two. That happens.
The final game of rumours is Doom. This was on our good friends Amazon France, so they are the kings of leaked information.
They are.
June 30th for Doom. Now that's a Thursday, which does tie in with European releases, but we had been told that this game was coming the first half of 2016. So whether or not it's a coincidence that it's the last day of the first half of the year and it's a placeholder, or if it's the actual date,
I think it's probably a placeholder, but
we'll see.
I think it'd be great if that was the actual date. It's like, we promised it in the first half.
it's the last day.
Except we would get it on the 1st of July, so they would have lied to us. Because we get Friday release. Well, actually, no, some games are starting to release on Thursdays now, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah. And then the actual only bit of news that's been confirmed, enough rumours. Rise of the Tomb Raider, one of the best games of last year on Xbox One. It's coming to PC on January 28th, so that exclusivity is finally ending in just a couple of weeks' time. So if you're a PC gamer, make sure you check that one out. It's a very good game, isn't it, Ash?
It is a very good game.
And so yeah, you've got a decision now, Dan. You can either buy it in a couple of weeks, or you can wait till the end of the year, or you can buy an Xbox. So many choices.
I know.
A plethora of choices.
Say that word again.
No. Plethora.
It's a plethora, isn't it?
Plethora. Is that what? Plethora?
No, it's not Pele. It's
Pele.
No, it's
No, it's
Ple.
pleth. It's plethora.
Yeah.
No, PL, not
Yeah.
Pella.
Ple.
No.
That's how you say the like plumber.
Yeah, like plumber.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you were saying.
Plumber.
Anyway, yeah, games this week.
Tune in next week for Dictionary Corner with Matt.
Anyway.
We've got Amplitude on the PS4. This is on the PlayStation 4. This was a music rhythm game from Harmonix. Pretty good, pretty hard. There's a demo right now if you want to check it out. Which I would recommend you do to see if it's a game you're going to enjoy. I like it, but I don't know if I'll buy it purely because I have Guitar Hero,
Mm-hmm.
so and I can do Guitar Hero. I can't do Apple Shoot. It's too hard, too fast. You guys ever play this when it was on PS2?
No, I did not.
Gonna play it on PS4?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
God, it must be bad if you're not gonna play it. You playing everything else?
I know. No, I won't be.
It's like DJ Hero, but without the decks.
Yeah, I know, but it does look really difficult.
It is really difficult.
It does look very difficult.
We then also have. We'll run through these because I know the show's running quite long. We've got Volume on Vita. Came out PS4 back in August, so that's finally there. Kind of like a tactical ops, Metal Gear inspired game.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a lot of fun.
I like the look of it. Yeah,
I feel it would be right at home on the Vita.
it would. It would.
For that travel. Hardware Rivals we talked about earlier, Dan. So that one is obviously out because it's part of PlayStation Plus. Super Toy Cars. You a fan of micro machines, Dan?
As in the actual toys or the previous games?
Well, either.
Both, yes.
So Super Toy Cars is maybe your pick of the week. Then we'll find out shortly. We have Zotrix and Hypervoid. They are for the PS4 and Xbox One respectively, and they are twin-stick intergalactic space shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Not really much to say about those because there seems to be one of these nearly every week, doesn't there?
It does.
And they all seem more or less the same.
They do.
They're all trying to replicate the greatest game in history,
No.
which is Resogun. And not quite there.
First week back and we get Resident.
Hey, I waited 40 minutes before I announced it. This you waited to. You're lucky that we only started doing our Game of the Year shows for 2014 onwards because that was a 2013 release. Imagine if that game had actually come out in one of the years where we were doing our Games of the Year picks.
Imagine to think that it was a game that was released 2 years ago and Matt still goes on about it.
Technically, it's 3 years now.
Okay.
It's 2013 it came out. So I did nearly include it in my Game of the Year last year.
Finish the show!
Anyway. Lovely Planet on the Xbox One. What do we think of this one?
Which one was this?
This was the kind of
First shooter ballet.
The ballet, first person, colourful world and stuff.
Yeah.
They called it, yeah.
It's not for me.
It's first person shooters for kids, basically is how I look at it.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Because it's like, there's no blood, it's all just bright, pretty colours.
Mm-hmm.
Think faded Splatoon, basically.
Yes, it is a bit like that. Cheap
What's that word?
Splatoon.
Isn't it Splatoon?
No, but trying to say cheap Splatoon is quite hard.
Cheap Splatoon.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
Unepic. Not the best title you could call your game. How would you describe it? Unepic. This is a dungeon crawler, 8-bit style. Plenty of those around. If you're interested in those, check that one out. G Prime Into the Rain on the Xbox One. I have no idea what was going on in this game. No, I couldn't really be bothered to find out. But it looks like some sort of... It's like a space explorer.
Yeah, it's like a nuclear weapon floating through space.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were navigating in the sense of trying to go somewhere or trying to blow something up.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either.
And then, to close out the show, a nice little puzzle game for the Xbox One. Qbot, The Complexity of Simplicity. There's nothing simple about it.
No.
No, what I enjoyed there was when we were watching the trailer was the first bit was just like, oh, you just move it both and they both move, or both bits of the puzzle move at the same time. It was all fine, it was all the same colour, land it on the squares, that's fine. The next one was colours and Matt was like, I'm out! Yeah. This game would drive me insane. I like puzzle games, but it's a good puzzle game because it gets hard. But normally, me with puzzle games is I'll get to the bit where it's too difficult and I'll never play it again. Yeah, I like a puzzle game that I can do, which basically is stupid because it's not a puzzle if I can do it. But
I like it.
Yeah, no, it is. It looks like a fun little game. But realistically, I'm not going to.
Fun. Well, I don't know if it would be fun for long, but
it depends. It depends how steep that difficulty
it does
curve is. So, rounding up, picks of the week. Dan, I'll go with you first.
I'm going to stick with Hardware Rivals because I said I was going to check that out off PS Plus, which means I will be getting it, regardless of whether I play it straight away or a little bit down the line. Guaranteed
to be the best value for money this month.
It is.
Yes.
I like the look of Super Toy Cars. I think it is a nice looking game, but I am intrigued by Qbot, The Complexity of Simplicity. I am. I'm really sort of getting into my puzzle games now, and there are some nice looking ones, and I do like the look of this one.
Sometimes it's just nice to sit down and relax. Maybe not relax.
I know what you mean, but not have anything to
it challenges
Nothing
your
is
mind
trying to
more
shoot
than
you
your-
in the face for a while, kind of thing.
Yeah. You can sit and think and take your time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am going to pick volume because I was really intrigued by it. I already own it, so hopefully now we know the Vita version, and I feel it'll be a perfect game for all of that travelling that I don't do. But it will go.
But when you do it,
when I do it, yeah, it's going on the Vita definitely. I played a little bit on PS4, but yeah, I'm very excited for it on the Vita.
It does look good for the Vita.
And that's it. A little bit longer than normal for the first one back, mainly because I forgot how to discipline myself in the topics, and also there was a lot of stuff to go through this week, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's 3 weeks of news almost, even though Christmas is soon. So, yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of the cost of VR. Is it too much for you? Will you be buying it? Or what kind of price would you like to see for PlayStation VR when it's announced? Well, I know what price you want to see it, but what price do you think it'll be?
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed year off, is it a good thing? And which of those games are you looking forward to playing? But for now, Dan, Ash,
cheers, guys.
thank you very much. And everyone out there, thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time.